Here, for every plan, we have given some conditions. For every plan, we have given some conditions. Which plan he applied? You will get the case number as the input. Based on the case number, you need to get the data. Once you get that data, then you need to check the condition. Then you will decide citizen is approved for the plan or citizen is denied for the plan. Once that determination got completed, you need to insert the citizen record into ED eligibility details table, or you can insert the record in, you need to insert the record into eligibility table as well as CO triggers table. So that is what the requirement we discussed yesterday. Anybody completed this requirement? Anybody completed this requirement? Yeah, Manikanta, what is your doubt?
Sir, I did it, sir.
You completed, can you share your screen? Yeah, Manikanta, share your screen. Yeah, Manikanta, unmute your mic and share your screen.
See, sir, this is based on plan.
Okay.
I am adding the data. First, I am getting all the data from the.
First of all, can you go to your REST controller? Show me the REST controller.
Eligibility determination list and get API. I'll get as a case number as an input and the plan info D2 as a output. These details.
Holder name, holder SSN, plan name, status, start date, end date, benefit amount, denial reason. Okay. So go to your REST API, REST controller once again. Yeah. So this REST controller taking case number as the input, it is returning the plan information as the output. Guys, all of you, look at this. He has taken a REST controller. In this REST controller, he injected a service layer. Then he has taken one method. In that method, he is taking case number as a input and he is returning the plan name as a output. Now go to that service method implementation.
First, I'm getting the plan details.
First, you are getting application repository. Based on the case number, you are getting application registration. Now, okay, if that registration is available, you are doing the operation. If it is empty, you are returning the things. Okay, fine. Now, guys, observe carefully here. In the 59 line number, based on the case number, he is getting citizen application registration data, citizen name, citizen email, citizen date of birth, citizen gender. All the information will be available in the application registration table. So based on the case number, he is getting that application registration data in the 59 line number. That's fine. In the 65 line number, based on the case number, he is getting the plan details. Plan repository dot find by case number. DC plans table is available. From the DC plans table, he is getting the plan details. With that, he will get the plan name. Right. Then in the 67 line number, he is getting income data, citizen income data. In the 67 line number, he is getting the income data. In the 69 line number, he is getting the child's data. In the 71 line number, he is getting the education data. Is getting the education data. Now, after getting the details, in the 73 line number, he is checking citizen is applying for which plan. Plan name is equals to SNAP. Then he is checking some condition. If income salary less than or equal to 300, then return update eligibility data. What is that update eligibility data method?
I have added for all the plans. I have created different API. It will support all the plans data.
Okay, if it is approved, you are saying that inserting the data into eligibility table and inserting the record into CO table. Okay, fine. Come back.
For every stage, I'm sending just it is like eligibility or he is eligible or not. If eligible, I'm sending true.
No. I have a doubt. I have doubt here. For update eligibility data, why are you passing CCAP as a parameter?
Okay, by mistake I did it.
You need to pass the plan name as SNAP, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. If income is less than or equal to 300, then that person is eligible for that. Otherwise, he is denied for that. You are returning employment salary is more than $300, so he is denied.
Yes. Sir.
Now, if the plan name is a CCAP, salary income less than 300, if children's age, each children age less than greater than 16, then you should check the condition less than 16, not greater than 16.
Okay.
If it is less than or equal to 16, then okay, you are seeking
Yes,
count
sir.
is equal to 0. Yeah, greater than that's correct. There.
Yeah,
Yeah,
greater.
right, understood. So if that person child age is greater than 16, then that person is eligible. Otherwise, he is denied. Similarly, for Medicaid,
Jails also empty. If jails
yeah,
are not empty.
not
and,
empty.
And jail
Size, not
size.
two. They can have one child also, right? They
Greater
can
than
have one child.
more than two jails. It won't
No,
support.
some families can have only one child also. It's not mandatory to have greater than two.
Okay.
It can be one also. At least one child should be there. That is the condition.
Okay.
At least one child should be there. That is the condition. If it is not empty, that you can remove that condition.
Okay.
You can remove that condition. Yes. Next one, Medicaid. Income is less than 300. Property income is 0. Then Medicaid approved.
I think this is okay. This one I have to add.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. No problem.
Okay.
Then Medicare, you should not check the salary for the Medicare. Medicare is the age.
Yes.
You
Actually,
need to check the age. Yes.
I have small doubt here. So not doubt. I have to implement.
You have to implement the logic, right? You already get the date of birth, na?
Yes.
From the date of birth, you need to calculate what is the age of that citizen. If that citizen age is greater than 65 years, then you need to write that logic. You have to implement. You have a date of birth. You have a date of birth. From the date of birth, you need to calculate what is the age of that citizen till today. You have to write a logic for that. Okay. Next one. If the plan is in New Jersey, if the graduation status is completed, then if the salary income is 0, he is not employed, then he is approved. Otherwise, he is denied. That's good. Fine. Your logic is correct. Come down. Yeah. Only date of birth logic you have to implement. Medicare logic condition is wrong.
Yes.
Update plan eligibility data. Plan name flag is approved, you are setting that, and if the otherwise plan denied and a denial reason you are setting. Inserting a record into ED table, inserting a record into CO table, trigger table. Okay, then you are setting, come down, full name, SSN, plan name, you are setting that, you are editing that. Perfect. Good. Can you test this?
Sir, actually, my AWS account is not. I'm connecting to my AWS database, so it is down.
Okay, fine, no problem. Yes, guys, see here. Go to starting point of start service class. Go to the start point of your service class. Yes, eligibility determination service IMPL. He has written a method get eligibility determination case number. Based on the case number, he is retrieving the data from the table and he is checking the conditions. Okay. Fine. One logic is pending from your side, Manikanta, that is Medicare date of birth. You have a date of birth in the table. From the date of birth, you need to calculate the age. Then check it. How can you calculate it?
Okay, I will.
Sure. Thanks. Good job. How much time you spend on this, Manikanta?
I think 1 hour. 1 hour.
1 hour. Within 1 hour, you are able to implement it. Very good. Fine. Good job. Yeah. Can you share this repository? Keep the code in the Git and share me that URL to my mail. So I will debug this, and when I am doing this, I will show you. I no need to develop once again this, right?
Yes.
Guys, do you want me to develop this API once again? Or can I use this Manikanta API? Can I debug and can I show you? Come on. Please respond. People are not responding. need to develop. Okay. Manikanta, keep your project in the Git repository. Share that Git repository to me personally. Don't share it in the group. People will copy paste. I want everybody to try this.
Okay.
Share it to me personally so that I will import the project. I will make some changes which are required.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
In the controller also, you have not given the path variable correctly. There should be a curly brace to represent a path variable in the URL pattern. That is also a mistake.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Anyone else who tried this, guys? Anyone else who tried this eligibility API implementation? Anyone else who tried this API implementation? Sanjala, you tried it? Can you show me your implementation? Sanjala, can you unmute your mic?
Yeah, hi sir. I can show you in about 10 minutes of time. Actually, I'm outside at the doctor's, but I'm carrying my laptop.
Okay,
Actually,
fine.
I wanted to check with you. I have not finished it, but I just wanted to show. I have done few functionalities. I just wanted to show you that.
Okay, sure.
Give me 10 minutes and log in.
Yeah, when you are ready, just ping me in the chat.
Yeah, sure.
Guys, anyone else who completed that? Anyone else who completed the implementation for this ED API? Manikanta has completed that. He is having some minor changes to implement. He will do that. Sanjala also done some part of that. Anyone else who completed this eligibility details API implementation? Whatever the requirement I have given in the last session. Whatever the requirement I have given in the last session, based on that, anybody tried implementing this API? If you guys stuck up somewhere, please let me know. I will help you to come out of that problem. I will help you to come out of that problem. Sudhir Bosale. Sudhir Bosale, did you try that? Amarendra Rao. Amarendra Rao, did you try that?
Hello.
Yeah, hi Amarendra.
Sir, actually, recently I joined a job. I'm listening, sir, but recently I joined a new job, sir.
Okay.
Class and I'm doing my office work, sir.
Okay, but please practice this also, sir, because it is very important. It is very helpful for you.
Definitely, but I'm listening to your classes regularly, sir. I'm understanding, sir. I'm understanding.
Okay. When you will complete this API?
Definitely, sir. I will try it out. I will try.
Okay. Chetan Namade. Chetan Namade. Can you unmute your mic? Can you show me your task? How much you completed in the eligibility API? Deepashri Nale. Deepashri Nale.
Hello.
Yeah, hi Deepashri.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Very good morning.
Sir, I didn't get the time. Recently, I have joined new company, so I will try it on Saturday, Sunday.
You will try it on Saturday and Sunday. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, also I have a doubt. I have shared in chat box with you.
Yeah, I will read. I will read that. I will reply. Gaurav Bhagat. Gaurav Bhagat. Can you show me your task, Gaurav? Gaurav Bhagat. Can you show me your task? People are not interested to do that. Vinod Singh Raut. Vinod Singh Rawat. Hi Vinod.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, hi, sir.
Yeah, hi sir. So, can you show me your task? What you have done for ED?
Actually, I'm not able to complete this one. Sir, actually, I was absent on the concepts.
Okay.
So I haven't completed the last videos also.
Okay.
So it will take time.
Yeah, guys, most of the people has not done this task, so I don't want to go for the next module without completing this. I'm giving the time today also. I'm giving the time today also. I want you people to try this. Krishna, I will develop, man. I will develop in front of you. What is the use if I am developing everything in front of you? When you will develop on your own? That is my doubt. I have developed 3 mini projects. Now again you are asking me to develop this API also in the live class. If I do this, then when you will develop on your own? That is the problem. Yeah, Sanjala, share your screen.
Yeah, hi sir.
Yep,
Can you hear
please
me?
go.
I'm
Yes.
outside actually.
Yeah, no problem.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll share. I've done partial work. I will share my.
Agam Krishna, next is your turn. Show me what you have done.
Yes, sir. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so the first requirement was to give the case number and then extract out the plan name, right?
Yeah, show me your REST controller first.
Okay, so first I worked ED module or DC module?
ED.
Okay, this is the ED module, and in the ED module,
REST controller.
yes. So, yeah, so this is the first function that is taking out the plans from once we give the case number.
Yes, 1 second. Here you are taking the case number as input. You are returning a string. You need to return the plant data as output, right? The return
whole
type
plan
of.
data.
Yeah, exactly. That is what I mentioned in the requirement. Input is the case number. Output is the holder name, plan status, start date, end date, benefit amount, denial reason. Can you open the notes?
No. So that those checks are left. Let me explain what happened. So first, this I'm just sending the case number. Okay, and if you see the service, so in the service I just call the REST API and I'm taking the plan name. So my idea today is, to write the conditions here, 4 functions, depending on the plan names. What are the plan names? I'm going to write the 4 functions here, and then I'm going to extract that from the user registration table.
1 second. I have a question for you. First thing, your REST controller method signature is incorrect. Go to the REST controller. Go to the REST controller. Your REST controller, what is input it is taking?
The case number.
And what? So ED REST API will take the case number as the input. What should be the output of this REST API?
The plan.
Only plan name or plan details?
No, sir. Maybe this is a different strategy, and maybe it's not the right strategy. But what as per what my planning, first I would take the plan number, a plan name. So I was just extracting the plan name. So to extract the plan name in the DC module, I wrote a method in the service class to extract the plan name from there. And after I get the plan name, so then I intend to based on what is the plan name, and I intend to write 4 functions here, and so I would just extract the data from that table. So for example, if it is SNAP, then I would just use the income table. So
Okay, I got it. You are trying to hit the DC API to get the plan name based on the case
Yes,
number.
sir. I'm working on DC API. If you see my DC module right here, if you see my DC module, and then if you see in the service class, in the service IMPL, I am getting. I've already written 2 methods. So one is the general to get the plan name, the first one. Can you see this one? The
Yeah,
get plan.
yes.
This will just return the plan name. And the second, so write this, I'm going to write 3 more methods. So this is for the SNAP plan. So if this is there, then I'm just going to extract the income.
Okay.
So I'm doing it through DC module. This may not
Okay,
be the right strategy.
you want to write all the methods in the DC only. The DC API methods you want to access in the ED directly through REST call.
Yes, sir. This was the whole idea, just to use the base will be C, and then just extract just using the REST template call C functions.
Got it. I got it. So generally, I told to take the data from the DB tables, but you are taking from DC REST API directly.
So in DC REST API, I'm accessing the DB tables, right?
Yes. Yes.
Because if you go to this is the DC module and this is the service class, and this is the income repo find by ID. So this is accessing the DC tables.
I understood. I understood.
But please, I mean, guide me.
Yeah, you can. I mean, whatever the approach that I told, you are using a different approach. I told that directly extract from the database table. Now, what you are extracting the tables in the DC, I told to extract in the ED.
So ED, I've designed a table, I'll just show you. But I've designed a table just for host mapping. Like after all the filtering is done, and then I have all the information, then I would populate this particular table in so this one.
Yeah, you can do this. Yeah, you can do this. It is used to store the eligibility data. Where is the logic to determine the eligibility? Where you are checking the plan conditions?
So this I'm going to do. I was not well, so I'm going to do today in the service app. The service
Okay. Okay. You after doing this, after checking the conditions, you need to insert the data into two tables: eligibility table and CO table. Yes. Yeah. You can do that. Okay. Good, Sanjila. You can complete the remaining stuff. Next. Agam Krishna, can you unmute your mic?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah, hi, good morning, sir. Share me your screen.
I am not developing, sir.
Why?
Sir, actually, I am not understanding the direct class, sir. That's why I am not.
No. Can you come again?
The study class, I am not understanding, sir. Your.
Yesterday class, you are not able to understand, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, share me your screen.
Yes, sir.
Share your screen. Yeah, Krishna, you can share it now.
I am not developing, sir.
No problem. No problem. Can you open the requirement which I have given yesterday? Can you open the requirement I have given yesterday? I'm seeing only your Eclipse. Share your complete screen. I'm stopping it. Can you click on share screen? Choose the first option. Screen you have to select. Before whiteboard, there is the option to share the screen. Share that screen completely.
This one, sir.
Yes, right. First of all, did you complete AR module?
No, DC module I am completed, sir, but I'm just confused. First, I'm.
No, forget about. Close this. Go to your Eclipse. Show me your Eclipse. Close this. Show me your Eclipse. What are the APIs you have completed? Did you complete AR?
AR completed, sir, and DC module.
DC also complete. Can you show me DC? DC REST controller. Open that. Yes. Load child controller. Why two REST controllers are available for child?
Actually that सर आपने बोला था सर कि ये मतलब मेरा चाइल्ड कंट्रोल अरे लिस्ट में नहीं है सर, इसलिए मैंने इसको मतलब कि
उसको डिलीट करो, पहले चाइल्ड वाला को डिलीट करो. Not that, not that. इसको डिलीट करो. Now you have child's REST controller. What is the purpose of the first method here?
first purpose of the pass the child plan case number and get all the child this child array child's details.
Where is the requirement to develop that method? What is the requirement of developing that method? Did I tell you to retrieve the data, or I told you to only insert the data?
Only type the data, only
Then why that first method is required?
only pass the case number sir, and trap the all the child sir. All this
1 second. Why you have taken two parameters for that method?
this one and this one sir.
No. First method parameters.
This is a URL.
That's not that. 20 method parameters I'm asking. Where are you using those parameters? What are you doing? I don't understand, man. Why you? First of all, there is no requirement to retrieve the data, child's data. We have a requirement just to insert the child data. You are doing some retrieval. What is that load child plan method? Can you open that service IMPL method? Service IMPL method. IMPL. Load child plan. What are you doing there? You are retrieving all the child's data. Now go to the child's REST controller. If you really want to retrieve all the childs, you need to retrieve the childs based on a case number. Why are you taking two parameters for the method? You can remove that second parameter. It is not required. Now, when you want to load the child data, you need to pass that case number as a parameter for that method, right? How you will retrieve the child's data? Childs will have a case number. So you need to retrieve the child's data based on a case number. You need to pass that case number to retrieve the data.
I am confusing trigger. Actually, I'm not working in trigger, sir. So that's why I'm.
What trigger? I'm not talking about any trigger here. Can you go to income REST controller? Income REST controller. Income REST controller. Here also same mistake. Can you go to plan REST controller? Here also same mistake. Did you tested this DC API? Is it inserting the data into tables? Did you test this? No, don't run it. Don't run it now. I don't need to run it. Did you test it? No, man. I'm asking, did you test DC API which you
Yes,
have
sir.
implemented?
Yes, sir. I have to, sir. Tested, sir. All the APIs. All the.
Is it? Are you able to insert the data?
Yes, sir. All the insert and retrieve all the data.
Can you open the binding class? Child's details. Child's details. Yeah, this is correct now. Okay, fine. So you are able to implement AR API. You are able to implement DC API also. You are unable to implement ED API. Now, where is your doubt in the ED API? Can you open the requirement I have given? Yeah, what is your doubt?
The code triggers they are there. So first I've said na sir, you get the pass the this data and
first of all, let me ask a few questions. What is the purpose of ED module in our project?
Eligibility, sir. This is जिसका इनकम $100 से कम होगा तो वो पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे और एलिजिबिलिटी प्रोग्राम के लिए हम लोग
What is the input for this API?
कैश नंबर
What is the output of this API?
all the DC plan data, plan number, plan what is eligible for plan and starting date and ending date.
So you already know that this API is used to determine the eligibility of the citizen. This API will take the case number as the input. This API will give the plan name as the output. Am I right? Then that part is clear. What is your next doubt?
The dot is only sir this. So all these are not dots. Only the eligible details and code triggers, sir. Because I'm not working.
Sir, triggers means it is not a database trigger. It is just a table. You need to insert the record into that table. Can you open the yesterday's class notes? Close this image. Open yesterday's class notes. Can you read this? Can you read from starting? Read from starting. I want to check what is your doubt. Why are you not able to understand this?
Only last is the trigger point of sir. I'm not working, sir.
Can you wherever you are not able to understand, please read that and tell me what you understood, what you are not able to understand. I will explain.
Sir, we did trash PK sir and code triggered PK sir.
These are just two database tables. We need to insert the records into these two tables. Now you are going to develop a ED REST API. That REST API will get the case number as the input. Based on the case number, you can retrieve the data from the database tables, right? What is the plan? What is the income? What is the age? How many kids are there? What is the graduation? Can you get all the details of the citizen based on the case number?
Yes, sir.
Once you get all the citizen data based on the case number, can you execute those conditions? If the plan is a SNAP, you check that condition.
Yes, sir.
If the plan is CCAP, then you check that condition. Based on the plan name, you are going to check the condition. When you check the condition, will you understand whether that citizen is eligible for the plan or denied for the plan? You can understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
So once that part is completed, you already have the plan data, whether the citizen is approved or denied. Whatever the plan data that you identified after the execution of conditions, you need to prepare a record and insert into ED eligibility details table, and you need to insert one record into CO triggers table. What is the complexity that you are not able to understand? You are going to retrieve the citizen data. Let me tell you. You have a case number. Based on the case number, you will retrieve the data from the DC table. You will know what is the plan citizen is applied. Based on the plan name, you will execute the plan conditions. Once you executed the conditions, you will identify citizen is approved for the plan or citizen is denied for the plan. Once you have prepared that data, then you need to insert one record into eligibility details table. You need to insert one record into triggers table. इसमें क्या difficult है भाई?
सर जैसे हम लोग वहाँ पे कर रहे थे कि प्लान का क्लास अलग टेबल अलग क्रिएट कर रहे थे, इनको का टेबल अलग क्रिएट कर रहे थे सर, उसी तरह ये भी है क्या?
Yeah, yes, similarly, whenever there is a table, you need to create a entity class for this, and you need to set the data to entity, and you need to insert the record.
दोनों क्लास आपको मतलब कि मैपिंग वगैरह
Yes. So two entity classes you have to create, because these are two different tables, right? Two entity classes you have to create. You have to insert the record into two tables. I have given column names also what you need to take in the table. I have told you what data you need to insert into that table also. Still, if you are not able to do that, means you are not understanding the requirement properly. Yeah, I'm explaining this requirement very clearly. In the company, they will not tell you in this much detail. They will just ask you to develop the requirement. You need to analyze, you need to identify the tables, you need to identify the columns, everything. I have given the requirement. I have explained it yesterday. I told you what are the tables you need to do. I told you what are the conditions you need to check. Still, if you are not able to implement, means you are not understanding the requirement. You are not analyzing the requirement properly. You have to improve that skill. Otherwise, you will face problems in the company tomorrow. Tomorrow, nobody will tell you all the details for you to write the code. As a developer, you need to understand it, you need to analyze, you need to design, you need to develop. Nobody will help you in the company. Got it? अभी आपका doubt clarify हुआ और नहीं हुआ?
Okay, sir.
Yep. Tell me now what you need to do.
Both are the different. Sir, means ED eligibility details and code triggers means अलग-अलग entity class देना पड़ेगा क्या?
Yes, whenever there is a table, you need to take an entity class. Whenever there is a table, for every table you need to take one entity class and you need to take one repository interface.
Is a holder name, holder description is a yes, जो composition क्या हुआ है सर क्या यहाँ?
No need of any composition, straightforward direct table. Okay? Yes. You have to do it tomorrow. I will ask you once again. You have to show me tomorrow your API with all the functionality. You read the requirement multiple times. If you don't understand anything, then you type a doubt. Then we will tell you. People are able to implement. See, your friend implemented that API already. You are not able to understand it. That means you are not focusing more on that. Do that. Focus on it. Read it. Understand it. If you have any doubt, ask me. Then implement on your own. If you implement on your own, then your confidence levels will increase. Tomorrow company में ऐसे requirement मिलते हैं आपको, आप क्या करेगा? समझा? You have to improve that understanding skill. उत्सव श्रीवास्तव चले गया. गौरव भगत, Aniket Kumar, what is your doubt?
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Good morning, sir.
very good morning.
Sir, actually, I am getting problem to retrieve the data from a DC data collection module. How to get the data so that I want to get all the data corresponding to case number from.
One second. Share your screen. Show me what you have done. Yeah, Aniket, share your screen. First, can you show me your REST controller? Unmute your mic. Yes, your REST controller taking case number as a input. It has to return the plan name as a output. Perfect. Now, where are you writing the logic? Service logic. Can you show me your service logic? Why are you making REST calls?
Here I am REST logic.
Yeah, why are you writing the REST calls? And why are you passing the plan info as a parameter for that method? What is input? What is the input you got from the client for the ED REST API? What is the parameter of the ED REST API? What is input for ED REST API? Go to REST controller.
Sir, actually, I have already developed this data collection API. So when I pass this case number, from that case number, I need to get the plan name DC API. So for that
No need to.
purpose,
That
all
is
the
the no. That is the problem. DC API already inserted the data into database table. You can directly access the database table to get the data now. Why you need to access the DC API again?
because sir, suppose I want to save the data in the different database, this in other database. Then in that case, how can I
No,
retrieve
no.
the data?
Did I told you that the database is different?
No.
Then why are you doing the REST calls?
For my understanding, sir, actually, that's why I'm creating that.
Bhai, आपका understanding अलग है भाई, but whatever the requirement we have, we get the whatever the requirement we get, based on that requirement we need to do it. I told you, you directly access the database table. No need to access the DC API. DC API का काम ये है कि DC API will just take the data from the form, it will insert into the table directly. You no need to access the DC API again to retrieve the data. You can directly access the tables from the ED module to get the data. Sanjila, you also done the same mistake. Here, you already got the case number. Based on the case number, can you directly retrieve the data from the DC plans table? Can you directly access the data from the DC plans table? Why you need to hit the DC API again?
So okay, so directly I can access the data.
That is the requirement actually I have given. Now, can you open the Telegram? Can you show me that diagram which I have given yesterday? Open the Telegram. Show me the diagram I have given yesterday. Yes, that image, whatever the image I have given. Yes. Now, you see, in the ED REST API diagram, did I kept anywhere DC or directly I'm trying to retrieve from the DC table? What is my diagram telling there?
Directly getting data from the DC table.
Then why are you accessing DC API? Did I mention that in the requirement that you need to access DC API? So can you read those points? First point. What is the first point?
We will get case number and input based on given case number retrieve plan name from DC plan table.
That you did not follow that point. Did you follow that point?
No.
You have done something else which is not mentioned in the requirement. So this is the problem. Not only you, most of the developers will do the same mistake in the projects also. They don't read the requirement properly. Whatever they understood, they will implement. Now, you implemented something. Yesterday you spent some time. That time waste, right? Because functional people told some requirement. You implemented something else. Both are not matching. As a developer, you cannot decide the functionality. As a developer, you need to just follow the requirement and you need to implement. First, you have to understand the requirement properly. Then you have to implement that requirement correctly. But whatever you have implemented today, that is wrong because it is not matching with the given requirement. In the requirement, I told you, Sanjila, you also listen here. We are developing ED REST API. That ED REST API getting the case number as an input. Based on the case number, you can retrieve the data from the DC tables directly. You no need to make a REST call to the DC API. In the requirement, there is no concept of DC API here. You are developing ED module. ED module needs some data. The data is available in the database table. You can directly query the database table.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
In that case, we have to configure the same property, same database property in the property file.
Exactly. I told you now we are going to use single database. That is RDS cloud database we are going to use. All the APIs will communicate with the single database. If you don't use the single database, then how can you prepare this project, right?
Yes.
Because if your DC database tables are in one table, ED tables are in one table, in one database, then that will be difficult. All the tables should be in the single database. Whatever the entities you have in the DC API, same entities should be there in the ED API also. Same repository should be there in the ED API also, so that you can query the same table. You can query the same table. Understood? Now, why I have not configured the RDS database? Why I have not configured RDS database is, you are doing the practice. Several times you will hit the DB in the cloud. cloud, it will charge a bill for you. That is the reason for a development purpose we are using H2. Once your coding is completed, in all the APIs, we will change the database properties to RDS database. Then all the APIs will communicate with a single database. You understand my point?
Yes.
For testing purpose, we are using H2. Once your API's implementation completed, finally we will use one database in the AWS cloud. In all the APIs, just we need to change the data source properties. That's it. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So you understand where is the mistake?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you complete it today?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Yes. Yes, Sanjala, you just copy the model classes and entity classes from the DC module to ED module. Then you can directly access the tables. Yes, you may have a question. Sir, if I am writing the same entities in the both APIs, it will become a redundant, duplicate. We can do one thing. I will tell you how to remove that redundant code in the coming classes. Yeah, you can unmute and you can speak. Yes, I can.
So because here I thought of this thing, but wouldn't that be like, right now we're just dealing with 3 tables, but then eventually when we deal with so many tables, so every time, the whole model package and the entity package.
No, you can do one thing. All the entities, all the repositories we can keep in one separate project. You can make it as a jar and we can use that jar. You no need to write the same thing again and again. We can reuse that project, right?
So as of now, as per your requirement that you gave us yesterday, right? So we use this existing tables, but we recreate the module entity classes again in ED, right?
Yes, we do. We will do that here. Actually, we have to do that because we want to access the same table in the DC module should access the same table. ED module also should access the same table. So entity should be there in the both APIs.
So am I correct when I say this that all the modules will have the same database source?
Exactly. Yes.
Access the same
Currently, yeah. Currently we are using H2. Why we are using H2 currently? It is a in-memory database. In the real time, we are going to use RDS cloud, RDS database. Okay. Just we need to change the data source properties. All the APIs will communicate with the same database. But why we are not using RDS now? Because we are in the development phase. When we are in the development phase, if you communicate with the cloud database for multiple times, they will charge the bill amount. So that's why testing, we are writing the code, we are testing the code with the H2. Once our code is working perfectly, then finally we can connect to the cloud database. That will be a single database.
So we are accessing the user registration table.
Yes, that entity also should be here.
So all the entities of the DC
Yes,
module database
yes,
and
exactly.
the user entity, all the entities should be copied here, and then there's no need for external microservices REST API calls. And
Directly you can access the tables. Exactly. That is what we want. We have to do. That is what the requirement I have given.
But sir, this sounds much bigger overhead than the simple REST API.
Your voice is breaking.
Sir, I'm saying that rather than copying everything,
No, no, we don't.
and
Here,
the REST template calls, I
no,
just
no,
want
no.
to
I understand your point. You are saying that, sir, why to copy all the entities from one project to another project? Why can't we access REST API directly? Okay. Now, if I want to interact with the 100 tables, can you make 100 REST calls? Is it recommended? The DC, we will have 100 tables. I want to retrieve the data from the 100 tables. So you need to write 100 methods in the DC API and you need to make 100 REST calls from the ED. That is not at all recommended. When you have the data directly in the database, why can't you retrieve from the database directly? Why you need to make a REST call to the... Now see here, the problem is you need to make a REST call to the DC. That is a network call. Again, DC has to retrieve the data from the database. It has to give you. How much time it will take? For example, REST call 1 second, DB query 1 second. 2 seconds it is going to take to retrieve the data. If you directly access the database table, within 1 second you will get the data. Unnecessarily you are increasing the time of your execution time. You need to interact with the DC should interact with the table. Instead of that, you can directly interact with the table, right?
Yeah, but then we add two more repositories then.
Yes, that is the only thing that we need to do, but execution time is decreasing. Now, ED module wants the DC data. You are sending a request to DC. DC is accessing the database. Time is increasing or not? One network call you are making, one database call you are making. But if ED directly access the DC table, directly you will get the data, right, within the less amount of time. Performance issue will come. If you increase the REST calls, then performance issue will come. If you copy the classes from one project to another project, it doesn't make any problem. Performance issue will not be there. Guys, now see here, what is the confusion here is, Aniket, Kumar and Sanjala, these people has done like this. Let me share my screen. Let me tell you what is the problem with that approach. This is my screen. Now here we have a database. Assume that in future I'm going to make the database as a RDS DB. Currently we are using H2 for testing purpose. That's it. Database is available. Now here DC module is there. DC module is having all the entity classes. DC module will communicate with the database to retrieve the data. There are some tables available related to DC to retrieve the data. Now here I am having a ED module. ED module needs the data from the database. ED module can directly interact with the database to get the data. Am I right? But what these people has trying to do is, whenever a request comes to ED is talking to DC module through REST call. DC module talking to database. DC module getting the data from the database. DC module giving the data to ED module. Here, this is one network call. This is one network call. Two network calls you are doing. Now, to interact with the DC, assume that it is taking 1 second. To interact with the database, it is taking 1 second. So, how much time you are going to take to retrieve the data? 2 seconds you are going to retrieve the data. Instead of making a call to the DC module to retrieve the DC table data, directly your ED module can interact with the database and can get the data. Within 1 second we can get the data. Why to take 2 seconds of time to retrieve? Your DC module is storing the data into database. ED module also will interact with the same database. Both modules are using the same database. When both modules are using the same database, when you retrieve the data from the table, directly ED module can interact with the table, can retrieve the data. Why to make a call to DC? DC is retrieving from the database. Unnecessarily one network call is increasing. You understand the problem, Anket and Sanjala? You understand what is the problem here?
Yes, sir.
You are making a REST call to the DC to retrieve the data. You are making a call to DC, one is network call, and the DC again talking to database. Instead of talking to DC and DC talking to database, your ED can directly talk to database, right? But here, what is the duplicate work we are doing? Whatever the entities and repositories we have created in the DC module, those entities we are going to create in the ED module also. If you create those classes, no problem. Code execution will be reduced, right? Execution time will be reduced. ED module directly access the database. Got it? Understood all of you? Still anybody having a questions on the requirement? At least by tomorrow, I want everybody to complete this ED API, guys. If anybody having doubts, please let me know. I will clarify. I want you to implement this ED API by today. Can you do that? Guys, all of you, come on. Still anybody not able to understand the requirement? If you have any questions on the given requirement, please let me know. I'm open for your questions now. I'm open for your questions. If anybody having doubts on the requirement. Jitendra, what is your doubt?
So I have a doubt regarding calling one API to another API. So currently we are using REST templates. So I have read it out. So I got some another solution which is a web client. They are
Yes,
using
sir.
Mono and Flux.
Right.
So in which scenario we will go for the Mono and Flux and using the web client?
Web client is a asynchronous API. If you want to make a REST call and if you don't want to wait for the response, then you can go for asynchronous call. In the morning Spring Boot class, I have explained what is web client, what is the difference between REST template and web client. REST template is used to send the synchronous request. Web client is used to send the asynchronous request. I will make one video on that, what is web client and how to deal with that. Okay.
Because some feature in the REST template they are deprecated. Right,
Yes, sir. I know that. I know that. REST template is deprecated and web client introduced in the Spring 5.x version. We are going to use web client
Yes, yes.
concept to develop the REST calls.